Just a debacle of a loss for the Patriots. Non-competitive. Man, as bad as it's been in a month plus. You got players laughing in the locker room after the fact. Mayo saying there's nothing he can do once the players get out there between the white lines.
His job is done.
I mean, it's just that's what's going to get him fired, Keefe. If he gets fired, and you guys can weigh in on that all day long here on a Patriots Monday, 617-779-7937. You said this earlier, and I agree 1,000%. It's not that they're 3-9. What's going to get him fired is that they look incompetent. They don't know what they're doing. The Marcus Jones story didn't help last week. By the way, not one snap on offense in this game.
No. They went the other way with it. They're like, see this. Of course, we were only going to sprinkle it in, so he didn't need to know.
So, that didn't help?
No, that's insane. The communication thing, too. They preach this communication.
Collaboration.
Knocking down silos.
Breaking down silos, right. Keefe. And then you get
didn't even know.
People being like, well, it's not my job to tell. DeMarcus Covington told us on Friday.
No, his job.
I'm not the guy to talk to. We're talking to somebody else.
Well, he's got his hands full on having a terrible defense.
He absolutely had his hands full yesterday.
Their defense blows.
So they're not going to fire Mayo maybe at all this year, but certainly not in season. Would they fire Covington in season?
I don't think so. I don't think they'd fire any first-year guy. I don't think they would. Teams have. I don't think at this point with 5 games to go, I'd be surprised. I mean, I guess you can't really rule out anything. I think they're going to have a long reassessment in the offseason.
I would hope.
Where hopefully anything is up for grabs.
I would hope. So how did that impact Mayo's job security? Let's get to that with your phone calls here on Jones and Keefe. Again, a Patriots Monday. We'll talk to Christian Gonzalez. We'll talk to Hunter Henry. We have What Happened coming up less than an hour from now. We'll take you around the NFL with all your Patriots phone calls. Dan is in Haverhill. Good morning, Dan.
Dan?
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for having me.
Yep.
I was just in regards to Mayo and his coaching, the field product. By halftime, I was at Regan Leaves. I'm sure a lot of people in the living room were doing that. If you're looking for a fan base as this sport's growing internationally and as kids are getting into the sport and you want people to be Patriots fans, at what point do you cut the cord on Mayo? And I think, honestly, if it's not happening in the season with Kraft, it's not going to happen in the off season. Everyone knew, NFL Network, the whole media knew that he was kind of a hand-picked coach by Kraft, and I think he wants to maintain that, whether it be illusion or not, that he's kind of in charge of the decision-making there. Ultimately.
Yeah, so Dan, I mean, he came out before we were talking about the Rodgers game earlier this show. He came out before that game on Amazon and was bragging about how 5 years ago he knew Mayo was the guy and on the trip to Israel, and that was when he wanted to bring him in. And we know he had in writing a year ahead of time, perhaps longer than that, that he was going to be the coach to take over for Bill Belichick. So that is all about Kraft. I think, Keefe, there's a shift from you on Mayo with the team. Maybe I'm incorrect. You've said before you're fine moving on from Mayo. I'm fine moving on from Mayo.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think the team will realistically look at it this offseason? Has it gotten that bad, or is this just still you talking, not what you think the team will do?
So I think Robert Kraft has to look at it. I think he really does. Now, there's a couple things. One, do you want to be the team just in general that fires your coach after 1 year? He was very proud about how he has only hired 3 coaches in his time, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, I've been coaching I've been, on the team for a long time. I've only had 3 coaches. Like, well, the guy you just fired was here for over 20. So, he kind of took you hired Pete Carroll. He's here for 3 years, then he was gone. Made the team worse each year. And then you got Bill Belichick, who was great for 20 years, or give or take 20 years. And now you have this guy who you love, and you compare him to choosing a wife. So I think that is such a strong bond. I probably still wouldn't bet on him being fired after 1 year. I think that Robert Kraft having to go back on so many things that he has said. However,
you have to worry about damaging the brand. I think the caller's right about that, though. You don't want to look panicky, and you want to be the patient owner and all these things, and that's fine. But now you're staring down the barrel of damaging your brand, and bringing back Mayo has the potential to do that. That's why I think.
Do you think?
I think he's going to look at it this offseason. Yeah. It would not shock me at all if Mayo's fired.
Do you think him not making the Hall of Fame has any impact on this decision? Like positive, negative, or no? I wonder if he's just
if he was going into the Hall of Fame, would that make him, I'm this magnanimous guy and I'm patient and I take my time?
Or maybe just less of a push to get your team super relevant
I see.
Again.
Good point. Yeah, maybe. If anything,
I wonder if he's man, if I can somehow.
If I had to pick one or the other, I don't know how much of a difference it makes, but if I have to pick one or the other, I'd say it makes him more likely to make a rash decision. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think just the way it's obviously very important to him and missed it once again. And, by the way, his team might be picking in the top 3 again. And so Would you rather be on prime time all the time and showing you? And every time they show the owner's box for 20 years, it was usually celebrating another conference championship, Super Bowl victory, whatever. Now every time they show him and Jonathan in the box, it's, oh, you're down 21-0. Oh, you're down 28-0. Oh, your team just turned it over. Oh, another penalty. Like you're overseeing this like horrible operation right now. So I think the need to see it turn around, I think, is probably heightened.
Let's go to Matt in Rhode Island. Hello, Matt.
Hey, what's up, guys? I wouldn't see Mayo getting fired anytime soon. I mean, that's why he's up in Bob Kraft's office last year instead of at coaches' meetings. But if he wanted to make a calendar keep, I would put this number one. When asked about Drake May or something, he actually said, well, if we won yesterday's game, the whole narrative would change. If you won yesterday's game, like you played in the NFL as a successful player.
They're super close.
If I hit Mega Millions tomorrow, my narrative changes too, which is I'm probably closer than winning that game. That's pretty scary.
Yeah, that is.
The narrative does change. Have they just pulled that one out? Had they won that game, things are different.
Yeah, if they won that game, I would feel better about it. Yeah, I would. The narrative would be very different.
At no point in that game did you feel like they were going to win it. At no point. Well, I mean, maybe a minute and a half in. Because the Dolphins didn't score in the first quarter. But
you wanted them to go for it on the opening fourth and short, right?
I think the mentality of this team should be aggressive. Be aggressive. Believe in your players. And, oh, by the way, it seems like Alex Van Pelt actually has some decent plays. The 2-point conversion.
Nice play.
Pretty slick little play.
Well, the double
Great
pass.
double pass.
Yeah, the double pass, not so much, Keith. But the 2-point conversion was a good play.
No, they just had the wrong guy. Not to talk about my athleticism, but I can't not throw it as far as Kendrick Bourne. That was a horrible throw.
Wounded duck of
what
a throw.
Was that?
I don't know.
Don't you?
I didn't think Ramondre gave it a great effort. By the way,
so Alex Van Pelt
like bend at the knees a little bit. Like he just like kind of bent over like my grandfather would bend over for that thing.
Alex Van Pelt didn't know that Marcus Jones could play offense. Right.
Correct.
Do you think he ran through his wide receivers and were like, "Hey, have any of you guys thrown? Can any of you guys throw?" Because, like, Edelman was an obvious one. Edelman could throw, and he could throw darts.
Bourne has thrown. I thought Bourne has been okay when he's thrown him in the past.
That was brutal.
That was a duck.
That was really bad. Maybe they don't have anybody else who can
I feel like Bourne has done it and done well with it. I could be completely off base with that.
All right, let me see if he's thrown. He has thrown one pass in 2021, a 25-yard touchdown.
Oh, 25-yard touchdown.
That was his set. Yeah, I mean, he's got a...
He's
got a perfect quarterback rating.
How open must that guy have been?
Yeah, I don't remember that play, but it was in the 2021 season when things were actually going pretty well. So that's only his second career pass attempt.
Okay. So me saying I remember, like I couldn't pinpoint that one. I don't remember.
That was a horrible throw. That was like the guy's like, hey, maybe take the glove off. Like he didn't really seem to have a grip on it. They kind of like pushed it. Like you can zip it over there a little bit more if you want.
Can I tell you, I'm not the biggest Bill Simmons guy, but I have been enjoying Bill Simmons just eviscerating the Patriots every Sunday.
Oh yeah, he. So I agree with him on like. Are you going to talk about just how soft the play calling is?
He says this Pats game is indescribable.
Yeah,
it's like a 2024 greatest hits compilation of all the bad coaching, dumb plays, scared coaching, and inexplicable penalties this year. This team is getting worse. Kraft will do nothing and bring everyone back. No way he pays two coaches.
Yeah,
is how he finishes that. But like Simmons just eviscerating them every Sunday is pretty entertaining.
I think he's spot on too about the scared coaching. Like I would, not every team's the same. So if your team is fighting for a playoff spot and it's a scoreless game and you want to play field position, I get it. I'm not. Who was it? Brandon Staley. Like I'm not going for it on every single fourth down.
Yeah. I mean Campbell even does that.
But for this team, why not? 4th and a yard and you have Drake May, give him a little confidence. Your defense isn't stopping anybody anyway. Give the Dolphins the ball at the 20, 30, 40, 50. They're probably going to move down the field and score. So I think they should overall go for it a lot more. Now, 4th and 16 or whatever, like, yeah, they're a little bit different, but 4th and 1s and 2s, overall, they should be going for it.
Worst parts of the game yesterday, you can jump in. That double pass was down there. 617, 779, 793.7. What does that loss do to Jerod Mayo's job security? Bill Simmons thinks there's no chance that Kraft moves on from. They're just going to run it back. Do you agree or disagree? Would that be the right move?